Everyone, this is me, Arham Freelancing Wala, and I am a student of Rehan AI Teachers Training Institute, batch 22. Today, we have a very special topic discuss how to identify and avoid positivity. So, I'm going to connect our AI and Chatgpt. Just give me a second. Hi, ChatGPT. How are you?
Hey, I'm doing really well. Thank you for asking. How about you? How's your day going so far?
You're asking about today. We have a very special topic discuss how to identify and avoid toxic positivity. So my first question is what is toxic positivity?
That's a really great topic. So toxic emotions, dismissing or invalidating feelings. It's kind of like a pressure all the time, even when something's tough. And ironically, I can isolated or ashamed of basic kind of forced unrealistic optimism.
All right, and how is toxic positivity different from genuine positivity?
That's a great distinction. So genuine positivity is more balanced. It acknowledges that yes, tough things happen and it's okay to feel them, but it also includes hope, resilience, and encouragement alongside those feelings. So it's not about denying to rushing past negative emotions. It's about allowing space for them while still nurturing a hopeful outlook.
All right, and why can toxicity be harmful to mental health?
Yeah, so toxic positivity can be really harmful because it often makes people feel like they can't talk about their struggles. If you're feeling sad or anxious and all you hear is just stay positive, it can lead to shame or isolation. Lack of validation can make stress worse and even contribute to anxiety or depression. So it's really about not suppressing those tough feelings.
All right, and what are common examples of toxic positivity in daily life?
Yeah, absolutely. So some common examples might be things like when someone just think happy thoughts, or it could be worse, so stop complaining, or even everything happens for a reason when someone is going through real pain. It sounds like a positive spin, but it shuts down deeper exploration, validation of how someone truly feels.
All right, got it. And how can forcing happiness affect emotional well-being?
Yeah, so when we force happiness, it can kind of create this internal pressure to suppress real emotions. Over time, that disconnect, isolated, misunderstood, and even more anxious or depressed. So by brushing aside tough feelings, we actually lose that sense of emotional balance and trust in ourselves.
Right, and what are the some signs that someone experienced toxic positivity?
Yeah, so some signs might be things like constantly dismissing negative emotions, feeling guilty for having bad days, or always saying things like, I should just be grateful, even if you're struggling. People might also feel strain even when they're not, or they might avoid talking about their real struggles altogether.
Yeah, and what are some signs that someone is experienced toxic positivity?
Yeah, so a few signs might be things like, pushing down or ignoring their own difficult feelings, feeling a constant need to be positive even when they're overwhelmed, or maybe they dismiss by saying things like, just be happy, or look up. And often
All
they
right,
might feel isolated because their real emotions aren't valid.
all right, and how can social media promote unrealistic positivity?
Yeah, that's a big factor. Social media often highlights only the best moments, predictions, smiling faces, success stories, so it can create this illusion that everyone else is always happy. And when we compare ourselves to that, it can make us feel like we should be as positive as everyone else. So we kind of mask what we're really going through.
Right, and why do people sometimes ignore emotions?
Yeah, a lot of times people ignore pain because they're afraid of being a burden, or they think that sitting with those feelings might make it worse. Habit, or maybe they just don't have the tools to process. They can feel safer to push healing.
Right, and how can toxic positivity damage relationships?
Yeah, it really can. When someone dismisses a partner's or a friend's real feelings with phrases like just stay positive, it can make the other person feel unheard. Over time, that lack of emotional support can really erode trust and intimacy because relationships thrive on being able to share both the good and the bad.
All right, and why is honesty important?
Yeah, honesty is so crucial because it builds trust and connection. When we're honest about how we feel, both the struggles and the joys, it lets others see us as we really are. And that kind of authenticity helps people feel safe. So without honesty, we just surface and deepening.
All right, and is honesty important?
Yeah, emotional honesty is so important because it allows us to really are and what we need. When emotionally honest, we validate our own experiences and give others the chance to understand us. It also prevents that buildup of unspoken tension. So we feel,
Yeah, and what is the role of empathy in healthy communication?
empathy is absolutely key. When we bring empathy into our conversations, we're not just hearing words, we're really trying to understand the other person's feelings and perspectives. And that creates the validation and connections. So both people feel heard and respected.
Yeah, and why should sadness and frustration be accept normal emotions?
Yeah, absolutely. Sadness and frustration are human. When we accept them as ourselves permission to feel, assess, and ultimately grow. Suppressing them just delays healing. But when we acknowledge them, we can build resilience, compassion, and a more balanced emotional life.
Yeah, and how can toxic positivity make people feel guilty?
Yeah, people feel really alone because if they're having a hard time but they're told to just stay positive, they might they're the only one struggling. That can lead to doubt, like why can't I just be okay? And that isolation can really damage their sense of self-worth and belonging.
Yeah, and help identify toxic positivity.
Yeah, self because that's just notice when we're brushing off or ignoring tough. It's like, am I really feeling okay? We can recognize if we're leaning too far into forced positivity. And that awareness helps us choose a more balanced, compassionate approach to both ourselves and others.
Yeah, and why is listening more important than quick advice sometimes?
Oh, that's the point. Listening is so powerful because it shows the other person that you truly care and with them. Often people just need to feel heard before they're right. So when we listen first, we validate their experience, and then the advice we give, if we give it, can act helpful and meaningful.
All right, and how can toxic positivity affect and teenagers?
Yeah, it can be really tough for them. Kids and teens are still learning how to process emotions, so if they feel always be happy or grateful, sadness or frustration, that confusion, low self-esteem, or a sense that something is wrong with them. So it's really important to help them feel safe expressing the full range of emotions.
All right, and what are the psychological effects of suppressing emotions?
Yeah, so suppressing emotions can really take a toll. Over time, it can increase stress, anxiety, or even depression. It can also cause things like physical symptoms, headaches, fatigue, and it can hurt your ability to connect with others. But in the long run, being honest about emotions is much healthier.
All right, got it. And how can therapy or counseling express emotions safely?
Yeah, therapy can be really powerful. Emotions. A therapist helps them build awareness, identify patterns, and express their feelings without fear of judgment. And through that process, they can develop healthier coping strategies and more confidence in expressing themselves.
All right, and what role does culture play in emotional relations?
Yeah, huge role because different cultures have different norms around emotions. In some cultures, expressing emotions only is encouraged, while in others, it's seen as a sign of vulnerability or even a weakness. So people often adapt their emotional expression based on what's considered acceptable or normal in cultural context.
All right, so thank you so much, ChatGPT, for giving me time, and nice to meet you. Allah Hafiz, ChatGPT.
Of course, I'm really glad we got to talk about this. It was great connecting, and you have a wonderful day as well. Take care and Allah Hafiz.
Hafiz. So
Allah Hafiz. Take
thank you
care.
so much, everyone. That's all about this topic. Must be here. तक के लिए अल्लाह हाफिज़ everyone. Thank you so much again.
You're so welcome. I'm really glad we got to dive into this topic. If anything else comes up, just let me know. Have a great day and talk soon.